Broken Dawn Day 1. I can't believe what just happened. It was like the sky exploded. There was this blinding light, brighter than anything I've ever seen. Nothing works anymore. No phones, no internet. Dad's old radio crackled something about a gamma ray burst. Everyone is scared. My little brother Rohan is crying. Mom and Dad are staying strong for us, but the grave expression on Mom's face says everything. I'm scared too, but I can't show it. Not now. Day 7. Hospitals are overflowing. Priya from next door is really sick. Her skin looks burned, and she can't stop vomiting. Our neighborhood is in chaos. People are fighting over food and water. Dad tried to get more supplies, but he came back with just a few cans. I don't understand why this is happening. It feels like a nightmare. Day 14. The crops are dying. Our garden, which was always so green, is now brown and lifeless. Animals are dying too. The air smells terrible, like something burning. We can't drink the water anymore. It makes us sick. Dad says we need to be strong, but he looks weaker every day. I'm trying to help Mom, but there's so little we can do. Day 21. Delhi is in chaos. We heard on the radio that the government declared martial law, but it's not helping. People are desperate. We've seen gangs roaming the streets. We stay inside as much as we can. I try to keep my brother Rohan calm, but he's so scared. I am too. The world outside our door is falling apart. Day 28. Food is almost gone. We're down to the last few cans. The air is getting harder to breathe. It's so hot all the time now, and there hasn't been any rain. Dad is coughing a lot. He says it's nothing, but I know he's lying. Mom prays every night, but I'm starting to lose hope. I miss school. I miss my friends. I miss feeling safe. Day 35. Dad is gone. He died last night. We couldn't do anything to save him. We buried him in the backyard, but it feels wrong. Everything feels wrong. Mom is barely holding on. Rohan is too young to understand. He keeps asking when things will get better. I don't have any answers. I just want to hold him and never let go. Day 42. There's no more food. We haven't eaten in days. Mom is very weak. She can barely stand. I'm scared she won't make it. The air is so toxic now. My skin feels like it's burning all the time. We've heard rumors of people turning to cannibalism. I can't let that happen to us. I won't. Day 49. Mom passed away in her sleep. I buried her next to Dad. Rohan's crying all the time. I don't know how to comfort him. The nights are the worst. So quiet, so dark. I feel like we're the last people alive. I don't know how much longer we can go on. I don't want to die, but I don't see any way out of this. Day 56. I'm so weak. We haven't had any food or clean water in days. Rohan's barely conscious. I can't leave him, but I don't know how to save him. My vision is blurry, and it's getting harder to breathe. I think about the end a lot. Day 57. This will be my last entry. I can barely hold the pen. Rohan's gone. I held him as he took their last breath. I'm so tired. I'm so scared. I don't want to be alone. I can hear the wind howling outside. It sounds like it's crying too. I'm going to lie down next to my family now. I hope we'll be together again somewhere better. Good night. My brother's starting acting strange after our father's death. Ever since our father died because of a bear attack, my brother John started acting weird. He locked himself away from everybody and kept on watching movies about people getting tortured. I didn't think much of it. Some people are into watching that type of stuff, but the timing made it seem weird. Our mom came to visit me and John. Her and Dad had been divorced for a long time now. From what I can remember, it was because of Mom's intense drinking habits. Now she went and bettered herself, admitting her mistakes. When John saw Mom, he didn't pay attention to her at all. He just walked by, as if the two of us didn't exist. Later, when Mom was gone, I confronted him about it, and he wasn't even looking at me, or at least talking to me. "What's wrong, John?" I asked him calmly. He looked up and pointed at the ceiling. "The only thing you saw was Dad's lifeless body, glued to the ceiling. My friend, the shadow ghost." It happened like a year ago. While I was in the kitchen, I was preparing my coffee because it was early morning and I was ready to go to work. I grabbed the milk from the fridge, and after I turned around, I saw off to the corner a black round head and a long neck. After I looked at it, it disappeared. I grabbed my phone and wanted to call the emergency services, but I said, "And what the fuck are they going to do? Call the Ghostbusters." I put the phone down and went in all the rooms to search the ghost. I didn't find it, so I thought that it disappeared forever. I went to work and I said what happened to me. Some of them didn't even believe. After I finished the work, I went home. Outside, it was already dark. It was winter. I live in an apartment at the last floor, and when I entered in the apartment, I realized that I left my backpack in the car, so I went back. After I closed the door, I saw the ghost. I saw it very clearly. It was going on the stairs, toward me at very high speed. I entered back in my apartment and closed the door, but later, with a knife in my pocket, I went to my car to get my backpack. Since then, I didn't see him anymore. My sleep demon. I went out with an unknown group on Halloween to collect candy. I can't recall the costumes we wore. It was already dark as we went from door to door. Arriving at an apartment with a stairwell illuminated through a window, I saw a black figure at the window. The body seemed human, but it had horns on its head and white glowing eyes. At that moment, I didn't understand what I had let in, what it meant, but all this was just a dream, a nightmare. In the following days, I didn't think much about this figure, as it seemed to be a one-time occurrence. However, from that dream onwards, I suffered from depression triggered by family, friendship, and school problems. At that time, I was 21 to 22 years old, studying and still living with my parents. The problems in my family had worsened due to the death of a family member. My friendships with two of my closest friends also began to crumble, as we were unable to have mature conversations about our problems. The increasing stress at university made it even harder for me to manage everything. A particularly strange experience happened during dinner with my family at my grandma's place. We were in her old apartment, although she hadn't lived there for 10 years. The place gave me goosebumps, old, gray, and smelling of cigarette smoke. The food tasted only of onions, which spoiled my appetite. While my family chatted and ignored me, I felt as if someone was looking over my shoulder. An uncomfortable feeling of being watched followed me. I felt a magical pull towards Grandma's bedroom, but as I entered, it became dark, and the sounds of dinner ceased. A dark shadow appeared on the wall, with a large hump, horns, and white eyes. Panic gripped me, and I just wanted to flee. My eyes slowly closed and reopened. I was lying in my bed, drenched in sweat, looking around. I couldn't move, and the blanket felt heavy on me. The depression intensified, and my behavior became increasingly strange. I felt as if someone else had taken over me. Indecision, confusion, and fear accompanied me from then on. The nightmares became more frequent, and I suffered from sleep paralysis. Again and again, I thought I saw someone out of the corner of my eye, or saw someone fleeting by. But the worst was the sleep demon, who lurked as a silent observer in my dreams. He blended into the surroundings, sometimes a drawing, sometimes a shadow or an outline. But no matter how he appeared, he took my breath away. A particularly oppressive experience happened when I was climbing a staircase with my mother. The way seemed endless. The walls were white and the stairs yellow with black steps. The atmosphere was gray and empty. The higher we climbed, the emptier and grayer it became. Finally, we reached an apartment door, opened by an unknown woman. As we entered, I stood by the window and saw him standing there with his hump, his horns, and the glowing white eyes. He showed me a suffocating smile with his sharp teeth. Emotionless, I followed the woman into the room she wanted to show us. But the room was charred, and the furniture looked as if it had melted. Panic gripped me, and I felt an indescribable fear. Darkness surrounded me, with no solid ground and no clear sight. Everything I tried to hold onto turned to smoke and vanished. A deep, dark hole formed in my stomach, swallowing all the good and bright things until only darkness remained. Did I feel guilty about everything? Was I wrong? Was I just a burden? Was I in everyone's way? I wandered along a beach, the surroundings veiled in darkness. Is this really a beach? I heard the sound of the waves, but saw no water. The sand beneath my feet did not give way easily, but it tickled with every step. Without thinking, I followed the endless beach and let myself drift. Now I am 23 years old. The phase of depression is over, and I have regained my balance by practicing acceptance and taking care of my body, mind, and surroundings. The sleep demon has not appeared in my dreams for 6 months, and I can now sleep without any issues. Was he real or just a manifestation of my problems, or a part of myself? To me, he seemed very real, and even if not, it seems he only embedded himself in me because I had lost my inner balance and could only drive him away by returning to that balance.